Morning, everybody. I am Michelle Keating along with my colleague Jeanette McIver, and we are here today to give you a demonstration on what PowerPoint Zoom is. So thank you very much for joining us today. So I'm going to go over PowerPoint Zoom. It's a wonderful new addition to PowerPoint. It allows you to jump from slide to slide or sections to sections. It allows you to bring in a whole different dynamic aspect to your PowerPoint presentations. The way that PowerPoint Zoom is going to work is first thing we need to do is put our presentation into sections. You can think of sections as different file groupings in a presentation. They're really useful if you want to have different colleagues work on different sections of your presentation to help you out. So let me show you what sections are first, and then I'm going to go into PowerPoint Zoom. I'm going to show you two ways to create sections in PowerPoint. The first way, I'm in normal view, and what I want to do is I'm going to select the slides that are going to be part of my second section. PowerPoint will automatically give you a default section for your first section. So I'm just going to come into this slide number 3, and I'm going to hold down my Shift key and select slide number 6. And in my home tab in the slides group, I have a sections command. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to go to add section. I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to call this my project team and press my enter key. And you can see project team is sitting right above slide number 3. And I'll do another one, phase 1, which is slide number 7. And again, hold down my shift key to slide number 10. And this way I'm going to right click and we can see add sections from here. I'm going to call this phase 1. And then the other way I'm going to create my sections is going into a different view. So I'm going to go to my view tab and then slide sorter view. And this is a great view. And if you've been in any of our PowerPoint classes, you know we love this view because it gives you a nice layout of the presentation, the flow, the story on how your presentation is going to flow. So with this way, I'm going to select slide number 11 and I'm going to hold down my shift key and select slide 14. And I can right click or I can go back to my home tab and I'll call this phase 2 and press my enter key. And then I got one more, which are just my last 2 slides. And again, I'm going to right click and I'll just call this closing. All right. So now that I have my sections, you know what? I'm going to rename this default section. So I'm just going to right click on that, rename it, and I'll just call it intro. Right. Excellent. So I can right click on these and we can remove them if we don't need them. I can collapse them all. And this is a great way if I have to rearrange anything, I can do it this way. If I just want to expand a couple of slides and work this way, I can do that. So sections are really useful, and I'm going to expand everything and just move back to my normal view. All right, great. Now that I have the sections in, now I'm going to go into my summary zoom. And like I was saying earlier, the summary zoom is a way that you can make your presentations a little bit more dynamic because you're able to go from different sections in your presentation depending upon the groups that you are delivering to. You can also think of sections as a table of contents for your PowerPoint presentation. So Summary Zoom is located on your Insert tab. It's in this Links group. And I'm just going to click this downward arrow for zoom. And we have three types of zooms here. We have summary zoom, section zoom, and slide zoom. And I'm going to go over each one. But the first one is going to be our summary zoom. So when I click on summary zoom, I get this nice pop-up dialog box. And each slide from my sections is selected. And so what PowerPoint will do is it will put these thumbnails in its own slide, again, like a table of contents. And we can uncheck or check different slides, different thumbnails that we would want in our summary Zoom slide. I just uncheck the agenda. I don't, or the introduction. I don't need those, my introduction slides and my summary Zoom, but I will take the rest of them. So I got 4 slides selected. I'm going to click on Insert, and then it creates this summary Zoom. And we can, and I'm going to change the layout of the summary Zoom slide because I don't need all these little placeholders. So from the Home tab, I'm just going to go to Layout, and I'm just going to put this on a blank layout. Just keep it simple. And you can put title placeholders if you want. You can expand your summary Zoom. When you have your summary Zoom placeholder selected, you'll have a Zoom tab. From that Zoom tab, if I knocked any of these thumbnails out of alignment, you can always reset it back to the default. When I click on the thumbnails, what we can see is what slides these thumbnails are linked to, because that essentially is what this is. It's a nice link to go from section to section. We can change the image of our thumbnail. So if we didn't want to see the actual thumbnail of the slide, if we wanted to put our logo in here, we could do that. And I'll show you that in a little bit. We'll talk about return to Zoom, and Zoom transition is, how long do you want your Zoom to last? Do you want it to be a slow Zoom or a quick Zoom? And if you want to put your borders or any styles, and this is nothing different from just image styles that we show in a lot of our classes. So nothing different here. All right, so I'm going to go into my slideshow view. I'm just going to click on the slideshow tab and click from beginning. And for those of you who like keyboard shortcuts, you can simply press your F5 key on your keyboard. So I'm at my very first slide, and I'm just going to press my enter key. And here I go. And then it brings me up to my summary Zoom. And I'll click on my first one. It just zooms in. Here's the project team. And then it takes me back out. And I think I'll go to my phase 2 because the group I'm delivering to will just say is already part of phase 1. That's how we can just go from section to section. And maybe they want to like go back and revisit another section, so I can just keep going back and forth. Love it. I'm going to press my escape key. That just takes me out of slideshow view. Bring me back into my normal view. So the next type of Zoom that we can do is a slide Zoom. So a lot of times in a presentation, you might want to refer back to a particular slide. So I'm just going to come over to this generic chart slide, and a lot of the information we'll say is on another one of my slides. Maybe I'll pick number 6 or something. And this slide, I'm envisioning with certain groups that is going to be heavy in conversation. And I want to be able to go back to the slide that has all the information. So I'm going to create a slide Zoom. So creating the slide Zoom, I can go to the Insert tab. And from the Insert tab, just coming back into Zoom. And I'm going to click on Slide Zoom. All right, so what slide do I want to link to? Well, I said slide number 6. And I'm going to click the Insert tab and just going to bring this maybe over to the upper left. And I'm just going to make it a little bit smaller. And I'm going to come over to my zoom. And like I said, maybe with this one, I'm going to change the image. And let's go from an online picture. And I'm just going to type in team. Here we go. That sounds good. So just did this cute little online picture. And I also want to be able to return to Zoom. So what that means is in the presentation, when I reach this chart slide, and if I want to go to slide number 6 and talk about it, when I move forward in the presentation, I want to be able to come back to my chart slide. If I didn't, then PowerPoint, if I didn't select this return to Zoom, then PowerPoint would then go from slide 6 to slide 7 to slide 8. And I don't want to go out of alignment. I want to be able to come back to this slide. So I'm going to click return to Zoom. And I want to start the presentation for this demonstration. I want to start it from slide number 9. So we can go into slideshow tab, and from current slide, or for my keyboard shortcut friends, you can do a shift F5. So I'm going to do from slide. So there's my link. And if I click on that slide, it just automatically zooms in. I press my enter key, takes me back to chart, and then I just move on from there. So that is what your slide zoom is. Pretty cool. I'll show you guys another way of doing a slide zoom. You don't always have to go to the insert tab and go to zoom. You can always drag a thumbnail to your slide, which is pretty cool. And again, do the same thing. You can modify it if you need to blend this slide into the background. You have zoom background. There's also different types of zoom effects and borders you can put on these slides as well. If you don't want the slide zoom anymore, you can simply delete it. All right, I'm going to stick around with this table slide, and we got one more zoom to look at, and that is a section zoom. So a section zoom is just like your slide zoom. The only difference is that you're going to zoom to a particular section and show all the slides within that section. So I will go to my project team because they are responsible, we'll say, for this table. And I'm going to click on Insert. We'll do the same thing. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. When I go to the Zoom tab, you can see the slides that it's linked to. My return to Zoom is selected, exactly what I want. We can modify the Zoom transition. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to come over to my slideshow tab. It's going to go from current slide, or you can do your shift F5. Zooms in. That was a little bit slower. I'm just entering. It just takes me right back. I'm going to press the escape key, get out of the presentation, and that is your PowerPoint Zoom. Just a couple other things before we wrap up this session. If we were to come in to our into our slide zoom, we can delete this. If you add any more slides into your sections, or if you add any sections, you have an edit summary command, so you can always edit it if you're going through and editing your presentation. And then the last thing is I just want to show you what it looks like if you delete your sections. So I'm just going to come back over to my view tab and go back over to slide sorter view. And I'm just going to do a right click and I want to remove all my sections. I'm just putting this back into this normal presentation, no sections. And you can see slide number 3, and let's go back into normal view and I'll go to slide number 3. And just notice slide number 3 now has these little thumbnails and broken links. So I just wanted you all to be able to see that. I'm going to delete that slide just by selecting it and pressing my delete key. So that was our slide Zoom. Thank you all for joining Jeanette and I this morning to look at this wonderful new feature. Our website is softtechdc.com. If you would like to visit the website and look at some other classes that we teach, we have our colleague Dale Barlow. You can always click on this icon if you need some assistance in our courses. We have a whole listing of our course catalog. Everything from Power BI and the Microsoft classes. Most of you know we do 6 hours and we do 3-hour classes, and we also love to customize classes for groups. Again, that's softtechdc.com. Jeanette and I will be rolling out some other webinars throughout the next couple of months. So we hope to see you back. Have a great day, everybody. And again, thank you for joining us.